and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing another scenario editor tutorial. This time I'm showing you how to build custom buildings which are not available normally, and it is actually not that difficult, to be honest. You need to first enable those objects. In this case is the fortress, the pavilion, sea walls and sea gates. So here something that is important to point out is you can both enable buildings and objects from the others list. Here all of those things you can build, and some of the elements from this list as well, but not all of them really work that easily. I think the flags don't work at all. The barricades are just built instantly, like you don't place a foundation here, you just place the building and it's done. So here you will really need to try out on a case-by-case basis if the thing you want to do works. So things like the mosque, the Great Pyramid, Pinari Castle, Fortress and so on, those work because they are very much along the line of a classical building. Something like Smoke, Nine Bands or Impaled Corpses are not really what you would consider building, and thus they tend to cause you some trouble there. And then the next thing you need to do is to change the train location of those things to not a building like I showed you in the how to create custom units video, but onto a unit. In this case it's units villager male, but it actually doesn't make any difference if it's male or female. It will still be available to both genders to be built. So of course you can also give those things. Most of the buildings and objects won't have any descriptions. They won't really have too much going on for them, but of course you can just, as I showed you in the how to train custom units, I'll just link that in the top right corner right now, you can modify the stats, you can modify the costs of those, which units can be trained there. If it has attack, then you can change the range, the attack damage, the amount of arrows and all that stuff. But yeah, I already showed you that in another video, so I'm not going to cover it right now. But now I just would like to show you how those buildings work. Also, for the ease of demonstration here, I disabled all of the buildings for player 1 so that there are no conflicts with the slots already filled by other buildings when I want to enable new buildings. So yeah, of course in your case you want to see which buildings you need, which buildings you don't need, and then maybe there's still some slots free as well. Just use the ones which are not occupied and you should be good. As you can see here, the buildings are split between military and non-military buildings. So the tents are non-military, walls and castles are military, as you would assume. And now, for example, this fortress, you can just be built like a normal building, how you would expect it. Let's put a pavilion here as well. And now to the sea walls. So they are a little bit tricky in the sense that they can be built everywhere. So for example, I could also build them there, but yeah, they need to be accessible with the villagers. So yeah, you kind of have to place them at points where villagers also can actually reach them. I know the sea gate is a little bit interesting because it doesn't actually have a model while it's being built, and you can only have like one rotation. Like each rotation is a separate building, so you would need to have 4 different sea gates for all of 4 rotations. I only got the horizontal one here. But yeah, shallows are a big friend of yours if you're using sea walls, because it makes just so much easier to put walls around. We can also, for example, wall of this area here. And there we go. So that is all about how to enable non-normal objects, non-normal buildings to be built in your scenarios. If you've got any questions, feel free to leave them in the description. As always, I would like to thank you for your attention and see you around next time. Goodbye.